Sometimes I hate being a woman. I mean, I don't think I'm transgender, but sometimes I wish it was easier to just exist. My wish for things to be different is more than just, oh, periods suck. It's more so, it just feels like there's so much, I don't know what's the word, hate, suffocation, prejudice. Basically, all of this, it just gets put on you simply for being a woman. I can't even think about this topic for too long lest I go insane, but if I don't have an outlet for it, it's just going to fester, so I will talk about it and maybe go a little insane. I've been seeing those videos around where women are noticing the subtle misogyny in the everyday things, and even the misogyny within themselves, which is something that I've been struggling with too. But, as they say, the first step to healing is recognizing the problem. The problem being that me and other women find themselves, even if there's no one around to observe them, find themselves self-critiquing in a way that's like, oh, I should look better right now, or I've even seen some things of people feeling the need to look pretty when they sleep, the way they chew, I should look like this, I should do that, blah blah blah, should be to whose standards? Usually a man's, or at least the typical patriarchal view of what a woman should be like.
And I realize what it is. There's a man in back of this place.
And with these examples, I'm not trying to say that guys don't experience these trapped mentalities of having to uphold a standard or whatever, but I'm just saying for women, it's mostly male-centered examples, or male-directed examples. And getting into how the patriarchy affects us all negatively is a whole other topic that I won't get into because I'll just keep on going. Anyway, so I wanted to ponder about this interesting phenomenon of this mental cage of internalized misogyny and seeking validation. Where and when do we get these beliefs instilled from, and how to get over them? How hating on women has seeped into women hating themselves. I'm sure I don't need to explain what misogyny is, where women are looked down upon simply for being women, but how is it possible for women to look down on each other or even themselves? Internalized misogyny can come in the form of judging other women or feeling like, you can't do this because people don't like girls that do that, or whatever. Like, the most common example I can think of is women not supporting other women because, I don't know, thinking that people are doing things for attention, or the whole pick me thing. Okay, wait, I will get off topic if I go into that as well, but like assuming girls are doing things for attention, that's the most common example I can think of. But these notions or behaviors or the ways we're taught to think probably seeped in from what we consumed throughout our childhood development stages, especially the media. From damsels in distress to knights in shining armor. The male gaze originated as just the media term for, let's say, what's visually appealing or what men desire. And it's so easy to internalize these influences by seeing what people say about women, like even if it's very subtle, like just seeing all these things that people say towards these desired women. But now the male gaze has exited just the media bubble and can be recognized in all areas of society today. Even growing up, I really hope this was just the me thing, but I doubt it is. I was always taught to be conscious of the way I sit, the way I talk, the way I eat, even the hobbies I've partaken, just to make sure they were ladylike. I was given more chores than my brothers just so I can prepare to be a mom. Sorry about that, very triggering. But basically grew up with the idea instilled that everything I did had to eventually lead up to be ideal for a man, rather than just being my own person. So even when I did grow up and I eventually realized these stereotypes aren't true and I can actually free myself from the shackles of needing to constantly survey whether I'm being ladylike or not, there was always a need to spite, spite the patriarchy and an extra sting when I couldn't. Like, let me think of an example. E dot G dot. Whammy number one, I'm Asian. Whammy number two, I'm female. So when I failed my driving test, it stung a lot more. It was like, oh, I'm not beating the allegations. I'm proving the stereotype. I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like if I were a guy, I would just take that as, um, I let myself down. But because of what I've been through, or these like ideas that are so like ingrained in my head, I feel like I let myself down and the minority groups that I belong to. Now, I will just say, I'm not saying every woman thinks like this, or I'm also not saying that every guy upholds women to these standards, but that shouldn't prevent you from realizing these are real experiences. And I feel like there's just enough evidence in the world, let alone, I don't even want to mention what women in non-Western countries have to go through. So much worse. But I hope it's enough to realize that change has to be made. Because I don't want the point of this video for me to just trauma dump or give sad example after sad example. I mean, yeah, it's to vent a little, but it's also a call to make the world a better place for everyone. Everyone. But I know, as Michael Jackson says, if you want to make the world a better place, you gotta take a look at yourself and make that change. Woo! Oh, another thing I also wanted to bring up was that Knuckles from Sonic Boom clip where he's talking about how being like, yeah, I beat the status quo means that you believe in the status quo. If that makes, I'll just roll the clip.
Can the young woman break the glass ceiling and prove once and for all that a female can be just as good an athlete as a male?
You know, Amy, anytime someone calls attention to the breaking of gender roles, it ultimately undermines the concept of gender equality by implying that this is an exception and not the status quo. What? Just because I'm a meathead doesn't mean I'm not a feminist.
Yes, anyway. How do you actually free yourself from this? After some thorough research, field research, and also digital research, here are some things I've been practicing to try and make the world a better place for women as a woman. Number 1, treat people as individuals and not collectives. Like, just because you're a bad driver doesn't mean every woman is one. Please. Number 2, call out what might be subtle misogyny, even among women, especially among men, like snide comments or subtle judgments. You'll know the feeling if you hear it. Number 3, acknowledge your subconscious beliefs, like I'm doing with this video. Even if you don't want to believe these subconscious beliefs, acknowledge that you have them or realize where they're coming from. Number 4, and similarly, whoa, can I say that word? Similarly, you get what I'm trying to say. Realize when you're seeking validation. I mean, it's not an issue to want to be seen as better or better yourself, but it is an issue when you're waiting for someone else to affirm your value. It doesn't just offload your power, but it also puts you out of control. Number 5, surround yourself with people that love you for you. Basically, surround yourself with people that don't make you feel like you need to water yourself down or change who you are. Number 6, and this I need to especially do, is to touch freaking grass. Because though I've experienced my fair share of misogyny in real life experiences, seeing what people say in comment sections or just, there's just so much rage bait online, I just need to ignore it sometimes. Basically, what I see on the net re-triggers or enforces these doubting beliefs. So, it's good to take a step back. Like, I feel like with enough doom scrolling, it's easy to think, there's no hope, there's always going to be hatred towards women. But I wanted to create this video also a way to counteract that. If there's at least one person that, I don't know, I just want to help. Because I'm freaking sick and tired of being trapped in a mental cage. That's not even, I didn't even choose to be trapped in here. Anyway, that's all I kind of wanted to talk about. I'm sure I'm going to cut out a lot of tweaking in this video in post, because there's just so much I could say about how women are treated on a day-to-day basis, and it just feels like, you know that thing where baby elephants are tied up with a rope and then they can't escape when they're children, but when they grow up and they have the strength, even if the rope is attached to their leg and they could easily break out of it, they don't realize they can because that's just what they grew up with. That's what it feels like. Anyway, I have to wrap up this video now. I hope you were able to get something out of this. I didn't want to go too in depth, otherwise I would actually, you'd see me clawing at the walls and stuff, but anyway. Thanks for listening and see you all next time. So, know your worth. You don't need to be validated. That was... I can't stop being corny, but just deal with it.